Howdy. There's a heat wave here. I'm dying. Oh my gosh. Okay, guys. So I don't want this to contradict anything I've been saying in the past because that is like my biggest concern. When I make videos like this, I do not want to say, psych, I changed my mind. No, no, no. But we have to talk about this as well because it's something that's caused even me to do some thinking. Oh boy. So, you know, the idea that you have to change to improve yourself, okay? That is something that a lot of us. What is this? Get me out of here. So, yeah, you know, the idea that you have to do something in order to change, to be a better person, to improve. Yeah, that's something that's important. But at the same time, you yourself are not supposed to change. Unless you are someone who likes questionable things or does questionable things, there is no need for you to change your quote unquote personality, for example. Like, if you know that you're a kind person, don't be unkind just because some people don't deserve it. And this was one of the things I really needed. So, I like to be vulnerable with my videos, and I'm going to talk about some things, some pros and cons about me making videos and how it makes me feel. And I really want this to come from a place of me understanding myself. Not to say I'm so good at doing XYZ. So if I mention a strength, please know that it comes from just self acknowledgement, not in a way to quote unquote brag or just. I think that's kind of stupid behavior, but let's just get into it. Oh boy. So I don't really edit my videos anymore. I'm sorry, I'm too lazy. And I still am lazy. And about animated story times, I don't know, I'm trying something. I do have an idea, but I don't know if it's gonna be my final idea because I'm debating between two. Whatever. Let's just get going. So yeah. I just remembered that sometimes I don't have to change as much as I think. Ah! Okay, I do have to change that, but when I think about religion, for example, and I know there are non religious audiences as well, but I'm just going to mention this briefly, okay? Because I want to make both ends meet as best as I can. Before I really started to become really close to my faith, I didn't feel like I had anything that was quote unquote working for me. Like, I knew I was religious. Like, I knew that, okay, I have a God I believe in, but I didn't feel much connection to him. And I know a lot of people must have heard these kind of stories. And I just want to say that God did not find me in a place where I was just like, I accept your message, take it. I wasn't like that. He found me at my weakest. And that is often why I get so inspired when I see revert stories, for example. So people converting to Islam. And of course, there are other faiths as well, but I personally am a Muslim, so I look at ones with my own faith respectfully. But the most important thing I see is that people are in a broken stage. How is it that that broken stage brought them close to the divine when they could have just thrown everything away and just said, this isn't worth it? I don't believe in anything anymore. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, there are people like that, but I often see people who are the opposite. How is it that this pain has changed you to be someone so incredible? So I remembered something. When I was born a Muslim, but I had problems growing up. And I think every Muslim and every religious person has some kind of identity issue. Like, why am I like this? Why was I brought up like this? Is there really, you know, someone there? And eventually you get your answer. But the whole point of why I mention this is because he found me when I was in my worst. And it just makes me think that I take it for granted because everything around in this world, okay, is a creation of God's. This is what I believe. So if the creator himself is pleased with me to guide me, why should I worry about what the creations themselves say? So, okay, let me go back into the I was gonna say biased, no, the neutral aspect of it. So, even if you're not religious, some things in life come to you even when you are broken. And to me, that always feels like a big whoa moment because I'm just thinking to myself, sorry, I'm in this new world and I don't know what I'm doing. I played the story mode, it was trash. It was so short and it didn't even feel like a story mode. But hey, at least we get gems. Let's go. Wee, wee. No, but seriously, I I'm honestly just astounded because he doesn't need me and he is self-sufficient and he still guided me. Sorry, I just went back to religion. But yeah, but the whole point of this video is that some people in life and some things in life, right? They reach you even when you're at a stage or a point where you feel broken, like damaged, corrupt. And it's so fascinating to me because I also met people who met me when I was really corrupt and met me when I didn't feel like I was the best influence. But we grew together from there. And yeah, people like that do exist. I didn't think they did. So if they could for me, they definitely, absolutely, tremendously can for you. So I think the most important thing to acknowledge, guys, is that you don't actually need to quote unquote change. There are some things in your life you have to do, like when you have to settle for things, when you have to do things for yourself, when you know you have to fix up, that's kind of normal. But in terms of who you are on the inside, that is someone you have to protect. So there are many instances where life tried to take me away from my kind side or wanting to help others. This is between me and God. I'm not trying to flex it or blah blah. That kind of defeats the whole point. But there were many instances in my life where I could have just given in to those thoughts like, oh, kindness isn't worth it. People don't deserve it. Oh, it just gets me hurt. Yeah, it does get me hurt. Some people genuinely don't deserve it. But are those their values or my values? And then I remember, wait, I'm not a loser. So I just continue being kind. But you need boundaries because you can't just be kind and pour everything out of your glass and be surprised that there's nothing left. But yeah, hopefully I make some kind of sense in this video because I think that that's what a lot of us need. Someone to just accept us for who we are. When I started making videos, I was paranoid. I was thinking, okay, people are going to watch me. People are going to listen to me talk about super personal things. I've never done commentaries like ever. Like, kind of in the past, I had another channel. I mean, I still do. I just don't use that channel for the same thing. Um, oh my god, my eyes are watering because I'm just thinking of how cringe it is. But seriously, I did speed paints where I was just ranting my butt off and horrible audio. You could hear my fan and everything. I would never not mention that because goodness gracious me. Um, and then one person supported me from then on. I just kept getting recurring comments and I was thinking, how does someone want to listen to me? And now, honestly, praise to God, I make videos speaking my mind, and instead of people finding it cringe, people relate to it and people support me as a result as well. And I'm just thinking, that's crazy. There is absolutely no way I could have foreseen that. I would have thought, I was scared. I was thinking, what if someone hates what I'm talking about because I'm talking about something so depressing? Or what if someone says tough and stuff like that? Like all of those insensitive type comments to, like, deal with things, even though I myself deal with things. But I took that risk. Hey, no, get me out of here. How did I fall for the same? Whatever. No. I don't know where I'm going. This world is not that big. I mean, I know it's the sea of stars. But still, I'm trying to stay as close to the new place as best as I can. It's shite. It's so bad. I'm out. Bye, 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 bye. I brought back the other avatar that I liked using. I know there are some changes, but I just had to replicate. I didn't really see what the other one had. But here she is again. Ooh, unicorn. I got a unicorn too. Whoopee. Oh yeah, I want my unicorn. Give me my unicorn. I forgot her dress was the same. Let's go. I mean, glitch is finally gone. Well, I mentioned that a while ago, but or at least I noticed. But yeah, guys, it's like when you're trying to form a new connection or you're trying to do something with it, you have to be yourself. And that's one of the things I realize about being a YouTuber. I've seen so many people who perform so well, so much better than me, and I keep thinking, what is it that they have that I don't have? And then I notice a lot of things. Oftentimes, when people are extremely successful, they are not their true authentic selves. Of course, there are people who are, but I didn't even know this was a thing. Wee! But I just remember I'm speaking my mind. Not a lot of people have the liberty and freedom of doing that. So when you're a really big creator, you have to be so careful with the kind of stuff you mention. You have to be careful regardless, big or small. But you can be at controversy. So recently, I appreciate you guys asking me if I was okay. I had a bunch of bot accounts spam one of my art pages. So it's on Instagram and it was just a random drawing of one of the frames. I think it was the frame where it was from my latest story time. And I deleted it because I was like, not the post itself, just the stupid comments because it was just dumb. And I was thinking to myself, either this is by a single person who probably tried to sabotage me in the past because I had a fake TikTok account as well, or a TikTok account that tried to not necessarily imitate me, but like an expose Suzu kind of page. That's the best I could say. And they deleted their page. I have no idea who it is. So my guess is maybe it's correlated to them. But that's not the point. What I was trying to say is that even if you are posting big or small, people like this can come after anyone. My page is not even that big and I already had these losers spam me. And yeah, I know people can say they're just bots, but these bots don't just reach anyone. And some of the things they said, if I was someone who knew, okay, you know what, I know my limitations, I know my abilities, you know, that is that's cool. But not everyone is going to take things the right way. Some of those things can damage self-esteem. But anyway, that's the thing. By being yourself and by being online, there is a price you gotta pay. People won't like you being your authentic self. And that's why sometimes for big creators, they have to act in a more likable way to the audience. And it's sad, but this is what the algorithm rewards. And one of the hardest things I had to come to terms with was that many people have told me about my channel and have told me you probably need to do more clickbait stuff. I know they didn't mean any harm by this because they just my unicorn just hit my unicorn. But people have been telling me your reach has not been great. Honestly, for my channel, my reach is pretty appalling. It's not you guys' fault. But I get to be myself, and that's a bonus. So there are so many people out there deceiving others. I could never do that, especially with a larger audience. Are you kidding me? I get disrupted if a single person is like getting led astray from whatever I'm trying to mention. I'm not a teacher. I'm not trying to teach anything. I'm talking about what works for me. And oftentimes I try to be like a big sister energy for people or a younger sister. I don't know. Some people can be. Actually, I think a lot of people are older than me who watch me, which is not a problem. But let's just say that we could all learn something from each other. And I appreciate those of you guys who also share your experiences in the comments and helping others out. Feel free to do that. And that's another thing. Not all channels allow that. And that's maybe a unique charm that I have. And once again, this is not trying to glaze me or whatever, but it's good to acknowledge that we have strengths. So you guys also have strengths of your own. There's something you can offer that no one else can. I used to think if I already did animated story times or I did commentaries, what would make me stand out from the rest? Then I realized, okay, just practically speaking my mind, not having a script, You guys can hear my fans sometimes, which I don't do on purpose, but it's tough. My unicorn is trying to race with me. Where am I going? What's the point of this really pretty cavern? What is the point? It's so pretty and pink, but it's taking me nowhere. Oh my god, my unicorn needs to chill. I get it, dude, but you have to follow me. Or girl, yeah, you have to follow me. Seriously, it was trying to race me. Oh my god. Okay, whatever. Ha. You can't go ahead of me now. What else? But yeah, guys, you gotta be yourself unapologetically. Like, yeah, you gotta work on things. You better think about yourself in a lot of depth and think, okay, okay, that sucks. I don't think it would have gone with the unicorn on anyway. It's fine. Disappointment is just an emotion. Actually, you know what? This might have actually worked for the better because I would have just gone back to the same plane. Hooray for mistakes! Now I have more places to explore. Yippee! See, I have an entire land to explore. But yeah, guys, that's what people just don't freaking get. And that was such a waste of energy. People just don't get that in life you have to take risks, and there is nothing that you gain from lying or being someone you're not. So when I made my content and stuff, I don't know how I stuck to doing more than 100 videos in, I think, 5 months. I know we're in June, but I remember it started to get me a lot when someone told me, "You made 100 videos in like 4 to 5 months," because it was like during May time, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, oh yeah, I did." So in July, what the fudge? I started the end, I think 31st of December or very early January. Yeah, crazy stuff. I've been doing this commentary stuff for almost, I mean, I say almost a year, but it's only been like half a year. But it's crazy where it's been. And I feel like I've become more confident as a result. I was not this confident when I started. I think I was just so paranoid. I was thinking, would anyone even listen to me? Nah, but that's the thing. And I know this video feels kind of all over the place, but you genuinely don't have to change who you are on the inside. I know it sounds corny, but like those cartoons that are like, you'll find the way that you are and you can save the world in harmony. No, it's not like that. But it's understanding that, hey, you're cool. You're freaking cool. You're talented and you can be yourself. Because I've seen so many people, not even that big YouTubers, they just lost themselves to fame, to money, and I just don't recognize it. And everything's just become capitalized. I won't mention any names because this is not the kind of channel that exposes people. No, thank you. I'm not someone who likes to reward that kind of energy, and people should already be ashamed by their own deeds. And I'm back here. I can't. I literally can't. No. Okay, you know what? I don't like any of these realms. Is that bad? Oh boy. Where we go? Where we go? Here we go. Seriously, I just find it so tough to be myself at times. And it's not even because I struggle to be, oh my god, am I back? Dude. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Are we serious right now? Okay, you know what? Be calm, bro. I don't like any of the. Okay, you know what? Wishfield. We're going back to Floro. Nothing beats Floro-ish for me. Nothing beats Wishfield. Just nothing. But just understand this. There are people there who actually want more of you. If you become a clone to what society has conditioned you to think is likable, everyone is the same and no one's gonna have a uniqueness. When I started YouTube, I thought, okay, I'm just gonna be like every other YouTuber. I'm just gonna be like every other animator if I even came back to it, which I surprisingly did. But then I realized there is something about me that they don't have. And of course, there is something about them that I don't have. So just take your chances, take the risks. Like, the risk of people telling you they don't agree with you, they think you're cringe, it's a risk. Like, of course, trolls are trolls, but people just don't understand that oh my god, people just don't understand that these things, right, are like, what's the word? Oh my lord. Oh yeah, I can't mount it without the ability. Whoopsie daisy. Honestly though, guys, it's just tough. People just don't understand. And this is why people put up an act, because it's easy to just not be yourself. It's easy to put up an act because you're going to be someone else. But who is going to be you besides you? Genuinely. And that's one of the things I had to come to terms with. It doesn't matter if you feel broken, if you feel everything's hopeless. You know, when I managed to get myself out of the rat hole of practical, trigger warning, I forgot to mention again, depression. I um I was like broken, and God still accepted me. So, and I still worked my way up to feeling better about myself. But how else do you think healing works unless you are already somewhat broken? Because it's healing. It's not just an aesthetic where you're like, oh yeah, plaster on there, plaster on that. Now you're in your messier state and you're just telling yourself, you know what, I'm not going to live like this forever. And that takes nerve. No one talks about that. That is true authenticity. And that's why I make these kind of videos. I think another reason why I make these kind of videos that adds to me and my unique charm is I've been through it. I know people have. I'm not saying people are just lying when they say all these videos and stuff, but I legitimately feel like, you know what, I've been through it. I've been looking for solutions as well. And I think that's pretty rare as well, because I want to look at practical steps. I don't want to just complain all day that, hey guys, welcome to my life. No, I want to look for solutions. I want to provide solutions for you guys as well. And even if it doesn't work the same for everyone, I want everyone to have the incentive that I'm not going to be this way forever. Or if I'm like this, I'm like this for now. Add the for now. You know what I'm saying? Because there are so many pages out there that complain, complain, complain. How many of them tell you you gotta do stuff? It hits you in a different way. And I didn't have anyone like that growing up, so I became that person for myself. And thankfully for a lot of others who watch me as well. I appreciate all of the comments and I try to read as many as I can. But that's one of the things that is rewarding about being authentically you. So when I made my post yesterday, my community post, it was kind of stupidly written, but what I was trying to say was that people accepted me for who I am. No matter if my video was vulnerable, if it was me being angry, pretty rare footage. I don't think I've ever been angry before on YouTube. Sad? Yes. Very sad, absolutely. But that's the thing. Oh my god, I'm back here. Oh, why am I back here again? I made that mistake when, oh my god. It's because I don't pay attention. Don't pay attention. Okay, what else? But yeah, that's what I like to see. You have a uniqueness. And I'm not saying this to be corny. You do. You might be thinking, what do you have that so and so doesn't? You don't need to think about what other people lack, because that's going to make you see lack. But you need to see what you have, and it will become more prevalent in your life. So if you keep saying, oh, this person doesn't have this, but I do, it's going to make you think in a much more biased perspective, like you're better than them. And that's not true. Ah! Ah! I was gonna use my powers, but I'm just running away. My power to run away. No, but seriously. I just think that it is crucial to understand this. The only time you need to change is if you've got some genuine changing to do. Like you are a bad influence, or you are doing something bad, or you got to improve at so and so. But you should never change who you are on the inside for another person. That is the main lesson for this video. And I think that people need to get that through their heads. Because there's always something we should all improve on, but don't change who you are. And that is something that is really challenging. You might be thinking, I never have. Think about it. So many people in life have. Because life has been mean to them, they haven't stuck to their original roots. That's why people have become bullies and unnaturally a-holes. You cannot let that define you, no matter what life throws at you. I know people who have gone through like horrible things in war-torn areas, and they are kind, always thankful. Of course, their pain is justified. Of course, they talk about the pain. They talk about how much it hurts. Oops. But they legitimately never give up. And that is what inspires me. How privileged we are compared to them. So that's where we have to just take a moment and just be thankful. And remember that things can change even at your most broken moments. Like, before I even learned to heal, I was, of course, broken. And when we heal, it's not something you just do overnight. You have to go through every single bit of pain, but it's worth it. So yeah, hopefully this video makes sense and isn't something that's just all over the place. But genuinely, be yourself. Authentically yourself. No matter what you do, a business or whatever, be yourself. Don't let some trends or some numbers get to you. There have been many instances where I have seen people make spectacular, over-edited videos, and I was thinking, that's too stimulating. Even if my audience would be captivated, that's not something I want to watch. That's not the influence I want to give. So, as hard as a route I've chosen for myself to get somewhat noticed, I want to stick to being authentic. And that's something that not a lot of people have. So, whoops. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I want you guys to be aware of. There are people there who want you to cheat the system. Shortcuts are fine. Honestly, work smarter, not harder, I always say. But don't ever be someone you're not just to attain something. Legitimately. Hey! Don't be influenced by people when it means losing yourself. Sometimes people help you branch out, and that's okay. But if you're thinking, okay, this is making me far from who I am, that's a red flag. But yeah, I'm done yapping because I think I've done this too much. Be you authentically, unapologetically. I didn't mean to say it like that. Unapologetically. And I'll see you in another video, hopefully. Schmopefully. I don't know what I'm saying. Bye.